Israeli ambassador to Ukraine Michael Brodsky revealed a little-known fact: Israeli weapons are already being used by the Ukrainian army. In an interview with journalist Marichka Dovbenko, the diplomat stated that the Patriot missile defense systems, previously in service with the IDF, were transferred to Ukraine. The Patriot systems that we once received from the US and then adapted for our needs are now in Ukraine. These are the same systems that were in our arsenal in the early 90s. We agreed to transfer them, and, unfortunately, almost no one talked about it. But when they claim that Israel did not help militarily, this is not true, Brodsky emphasized. These words come as a revelation amid ongoing debates about Israel's role in the conflict. While many expected a more open position from Jerusalem, it turns out that real support was coming, but it remained in the shadows. Perhaps the Israelis were forced to act quietly because of the complex geopolitical balance in which the country exists. In closing the interview, Brodsky expressed hope that long-awaited peace would come to the country before the end of his diplomatic mission in Ukraine. He added that the Israeli experience of living under constant threat could be useful to Ukrainians both in the sphere of security and in building a sustainable society. In May 2024, it was reported that the Israel Defense Forces would stop using the US-made Patriot air defense systems, which are being replaced by systems based on more advanced technology. Ukraine has repeatedly asked its partners for Patriot systems to defend against large-scale Russian attacks. These systems have proven highly effective, particularly in intercepting Russian Kinzhal hypersonic missiles. In May 2023, a Patriot system successfully intercepted the first Kinzhal missile over Kyiv, a turning point in Ukraine's defense against this type of Russian weapon. The effective use of Patriots has strengthened the air defense of Ukrainian cities. However, Ukraine still faces a shortage of such systems. The Russians are massively transferring troops and equipment from Crimea and Kherson region to Sumy, where they are conducting an active offensive, says the former advisor to the mayor of Mariupol, Petro Andriushenko. According to him, no less than 10 new self-propelled guns, an air defense complex and more than 40 trucks with manpower and ammunition were transported through Mariupol over the weekend. This is the largest transfer in the last 6 months, in principle, and the first similar one for the entire period of the war, Andriushenko comments. Recently, a Tesh guerrilla movement said that the occupiers have begun to massively move equipment and air defense systems throughout the Crimean Peninsula. Often this process is uncoordinated and chaotic. It is noted that according to information from the movement's agents among the Russian armed forces, they are trying to strengthen security measures in Crimea. But on the ground, it all boils down to the fact that equipment is being transported back and forth without a specific plan, and it looks more like a panic to report to the authorities on the activities carried out. The situation is reminiscent of the period of 2023 to 2024, when Crimea was actively attacked, the guerrillas added. Atesh emphasized that they continue to monitor the actions of the Russians on the peninsula and pass on all important information to the Ukrainian defense forces. Russian military units appear to be within 29 kilometers of the city of Sumy, 3 years after Ukraine forced them out of the northern region, while also making new and symbolically important ground in the east. Kremlin claims to have retaken the village of Lochnia, which had been liberated along with the rest of the Sumy region during Ukraine's 2022 spring counteroffensive. It is the latest settlement in the region to be retaken by Putin's forces in recent weeks. The city of Sumy, which is 200 miles northeast of Kiev, was never occupied by Russia after the full-scale invasion, but Putin's forces have been bearing down on the regional capital. Volodymyr Zelensky warned last month that Russia had concentrated 50,000 troops on the Sumy front, and a series of settlements in the area have since fallen. A funeral was held in Kiev on Monday for 3 firefighters killed responding to a Russian airstrike on the Ukrainian capital last week. According to Associated Press, Pavlo Yezer, Danilo Skadin, and Andriy Remenyi died on June 6 while responding to the aftermath of a drone and missile attack that struck civilian infrastructure in the Solomiansky district. The causes of a secondary explosion that claimed their lives remain under investigation. The farewell ceremony took place at a fire station in the Sviatoshinsky district, where relatives, friends, and colleagues gathered to pay their respects. Fire trucks sounded their sirens in honor of the fallen.
Ми переймаємося своїми рідними, бо вони тут, і тільки надія на цих хлопців, які боронять на нашому тиловому фронті. Бо хто не розуміє, що хлопці оці в синій формі, вони теж кожен день ризикують життям, своїм життям заради всіх нас.
Моя мета – це зберегти їхню тільки пам'ять.
Путінська Росія вбивають сьогодні нас, українців. По-різному вбивають. На фронті бомбами, і мінометами, і снарядами, ракетами тут у тилу. Вбивають не тільки хлопців молодих, вони вбивають і мам з дітками, вони вбивають ось таких молодих, прекрасних, ще сильних і дітей, які ще нічого ще не встигли побудувати своє життя.